A good day, class. So the focus for today's session is on the different types of organizations, processes, and products in industrial arts. Okay, so why this is included in your module? Because of course we are talking about industrial arts. When we speak of industrial arts, that pertains to skills. And the learned skills will, of course, will, will give us lot of resources to make something new, to make products that are relevant to the needs of the society. So from the word industries, that is all about creation of something, manufacturing of different things that in which the community will benefit from it. And when we speak of arts, these are the things were made according to the skill, according to the design of, of a person, of every individual. So that's it. That is the reason why there is a need for us to discuss organizations because of that there is industrial arts. Again, when we speak of industrial arts, this is all about the creation of something out of the skill that you were able to do, okay, because of your skill, because of your learned skill. Okay, so now let me tell you something that I read when it comes to the history of the Industrial Revolution is that they started with just a little talk in a particular event. There they started to exchange ideas, what are the needs in their place, in which they have the capability to do it. Okay, so with that exchange of ideas, it gives them an idea what to create, and that is the start in which they started to have an organization in doing a particular project. And so, of course, in every organizations, there are processes. And of course, if there is a process, there is a product, there is an output. Okay, so what are organizational structures? So we conceive organization structure as a chart consisting of boxes in which the names of positions or designations or personnel are written in a hierarchical order along with the depiction of relationship that exists between various positions. Now, if I'm going to ask you, what comes first to your mind whenever you hear the word organizational structure? Of course, the same thing is what you read, that what comes first to your mind, what pops up to your mind is there is this structure, there is this chart, and then the chart is composed of the different positions in which the chart will also tell you what is the relationship of different positions. Okay, so through that chart, you will know where to submit, where to inform if you are part of the organization, where to go in every thing that you will be doing inside the staff. That will guide you. Who are you going to approach to? Okay, so one has to create a structure that would work, redesign it if required, and implement changes that will keep the structure relevant to the needs of the strategies that have to be implemented. Okay, so So now here in the second meaning, the second box is not just an organizational structure, so not just merely a box that consists of what position that person in that box is. Okay, so that will also lead us for the success of the organization. That if the structure is not effective, then I think there is a need to revisit the the structure. There is a need to redesign the structure. Okay, for the third box, for strategies, an organization structure is of much more importance. From strategy implementation standpoint, an organization structure is the arrangement of tasks and subtasks required to implement strategy. So just like what I've said a while ago, organizational structure will guide us who are we going to approach and every task that we will be accomplishing. Okay, so this is not just merely a box, but also it will lead us to better implementation of the different tasks to be accomplished. That if it fails to do what is needed to be done, then there is a need to redesign or to revisit the arrangement of the task. Okay, so key elements of organizational structure. Number one, it identifies the formal reporting relationships, including the number of levels in the hierarchy and the span of control of managers. So this is the thing that I keep on saying a while ago, and this will inform us who are we going to approach. Number two, it specifies the grouping of individuals into departments and of departments into the total organizations. So through organizational structure, we will know what are the different departments that works in a particular organization. So in which these different departments have their own tasks to accomplish. But of course, it depends on the kind of structure. Okay, so number three, it consists of design of systems to ensure effective communications, coordination, and integration of effort across the departments. Okay, so understanding the key elements of organizational structure, number one and two constitute the structural framework, which is the vertical structure created through the process of differentiation that involves division of labor and specialization. So if we are going to look back now for number one and number two, so here this tool refers to vertical structure because it identifies the formal reporting relationships, including the number of levels in the hierarchy in the span of control of managers, and then it specifies the grouping of individuals. So the individuals are grouped according to their task, and there is this formal reporting relationships. Okay, so for the number three, this one, it consists of design of system to ensure effective communication, coordination, and integration of efforts across the departments. This refers to horizontal structure created through the process of integration that involves cross-functional information systems and teamwork. So if you are going to observe these key elements of organizational structure in which it states that number one and number two is under the vertical structure, whereas for number three, that is for the horizontal structure. So what is the difference between these two is you will see that number one and number two is centralized, whereas in number 3 is decentralized. So for number 1 and number 2, when we speak of centralized, there is this particular person that they are going to follow. There is a boss. There is someone that you really need to approach to. So that is centralized. For number 3, this is all about, that's why it's horizontal, because this is all about coordination and integration. That they are allowed to, that's why it said decentralized, because they are free to ask for an opinion to other co-workers, although that co-worker is not part of her department. As long as that co-worker can help them in solving their problem, so be it. Okay. Okay, so understanding vertical structure and horizontal structure. For vertical structure, it is designed primarily for exercising control by superiors over subordinates work in the organization. So here, you will really see in vertical structure that there are superiors and there are subordinates. That these superiors, of course, are the one who are powerful, but when we say powerful, they are the one that the subordinates should follow. Okay, so horizontal structure, it is designed for coordination and collaboration of work among peers in the organization. So there is this empowerment here in horizontal structure. So since there's no one to control when it comes to accomplishing the task, because here it depends now on the weight of the job. So they are free, just like what I've said, they are free to ask opinion to some of their co-workers, even if the co-workers are not from their team. Okay, vertical structure, what are the characteristics? Specialized task, hierarchy of authority, rules and regulations, vertical communication, formal reporting systems, centralized decision-making, emphasis on efficiency. So these are the characteristics. So when we say specialized task, a particular person or individual is have a particular task to accomplish. If he's just in the marketing, then he should just be in the marketing. He's not allowed to go to other departments, like for example, go to the processing department. Okay, hierarchy of authority. So you will really see here the organizational chart in vertical structure. Like for example, the first one in the box is the CEO, followed by the coordinators in different departments, and after the different departments, the subordinates or the members of the different departments. So that is hierarchy of authority. So before you go to the, which means that, like for example, the subordinates cannot go directly to the CEO without consulting first to his coordinator in a particular department where he is assigned to. There are rules and regulations. There are rules and regulations to follow while doing the job. So vertical communication, formal reporting system, that there is the systematic process that they need to follow in accomplishing their task. Centralized decision making, like for example, before deciding on something, they need to consult first the one who is in authority, or like for example, the CEO. Emphasis on efficiency. So for the emphasis on efficiency, By the way, if I'm going to ask you what's the difference between being efficient and being effective, what is your idea about that? Okay, so for efficiency, well, of course, in efficiency, this means that you were able to accomplish that task without wasting resources. These resources that I am saying, this refers now to money, time, and energy. So that is efficiency, doing the job or doing the task without wasting resources. Now, when we speak of being effective, is meaning to say when we speak of being effective is doing the job as what according to what is the goal, but of course we cannot tell that they were not able to waste resources. Okay, so of course, most of the time before we can really tell that we were very successful in doing the job, but of course we really cannot avoid that there are there are there are times that we were able to waste first our energy, resources, our not just energy, financial, okay? So that is the difference between efficiency and effectivity. Okay, for the characteristics, shared task, flexible authority, fewer rules and regulations, horizontal communication, sharing of information, decentralized decision making, emphasis on learning. Okay, so shared task. So even if you are not assigned a particular department, but if you have something to contribute, then you can share. Or like for example, you think that there are some individuals who are good in the task that you are doing, then you can ask help from them. That is okay. So I'm just fixing my video. Okay, so let us now continue. So that is a shared task. So for the flexible authority, so uh, when we speak of flexible authority, so meaning to say there is no need to wait for an approval of someone who is in authority as long as that is for the good of the organization. So be it, you will be allowed. A few rules and regulations because since it is decentralized, so if what is best for the organization, then the other rules will be that will there's the so-called exemption to the rules. Horizontal communication because you are not dependent to someone who is in authority because the focus is on being effective or on the success of the organization. Sharing of information because of the shared task. Then we have here the decentralization making, decentralized decision making because everyone is empowered to do what is needed to be done Okay, so emphasis on learning. So the focus, so if in vertical structure the focus is on efficiency, making sure that everything will not be put on trash, all of the effort will not be put on trash, accomplishing the job without wasting any resources. So here in horizontal structure, it is allowed, but not necessarily that you're going to keep on wasting materials. It's just a way to show that what's important is that even if you wasted the materials in doing something, the important is you learn on something, and the next time that you will be doing that again, at least you will not be wasting resources anymore. Okay, so we have here, it said that vertical structure is tall. Many layers of management take boundaries between layers, preventing smooth communication, tight controls, rigidity, centralized decision making, and too many specific way of doing things that denotes creativity. That demotes creativity. Why it demotes creativity? It demotes creativity because there are rules and regulations to follow. It is centralized, in which since you think that that is the rules, so the back of your mind, you're now going to decide, okay, I'm not going to continue it because there is a rule that says that we're not allowed to do something like that. And it demotes creativity because one of the characteristics that was mentioned a while ago is that the emphasis is on efficiency. So how can you experiment or innovate on something if you are not yet sure of the result? So that demotes creativity. So this is well suited for efficient and tightly controlled operations because in vertical structure, but I'm not saying that vertical structure is not good. It depends on in different circumstances. Like for example, there is there is a need for the company or for the organization to create a product which needs quality, should be uniform. So this vertical structure is very helpful. Okay, so horizontal structure, it is said that it's flat, lean and mean with few layers of management, thus promoting a liberal exchange of information between layers and across departments with flexible systems, much needed delegation of authority, leading to decentralized decision making, and having an organization climate conducive to creativity and innovation. So since the there is this flexibility, so there is really a chance for everyone in the organization to do what is best for the organization, because of course they're not hesitant that they will be that their attention will be called if they were able to just waste the resources. Okay, so vertical structure, this is best for organizations that make standardized products and services in large volumes to mass production systems with established technologies, serving a wide market, having customers seeking undifferentiated items for consumption. Okay, so again, when is this vertical structure best? So this is well suited if the organization will be doing products that are that have this standard characteristics. Okay. So for horizontal structures, such structures often result in loss of control and high cost of coordination and require highly qualified employees with multiple skills. Suited to organizations that make differentiated products and services through batch production systems, advanced technologies, serving niche markets with customers seeking premium items for consumption. So the difference when it comes to product is vertical structure is needed if there is standardized products to be delivered to a particular client. And horizontal structure, this is needed if the clients are seeking for creativity, different designs. So here comes now empowerment to the members of the organization, or should just to say employees, to think creatively for them to be able to create a particular design. Okay, so we have here types of organizational structure. So we have entrepreneurial structure, functional structure, divisional structure. This one is the strategic base unit structure, the matrix structure, the network structure. Okay.